We would certainly look to see if there are other providers who want to step in.
Mayor,
is
this a town hall?
This is not. This is a town hall, and you're not part of that.
If this is a town hall, how come we can't ask you questions?
Because one of the things I've learned is that people like you try to take over a meeting.
Questions that you want to ask. How come you don't let people ask?
Why don't you go back and talk with those folks in the back?
Pick people's hands and let them ask questions rather than picking the
questions you want. You know, I've learned we're going through all of this.
Town hall meeting.
You know, you're welcome to leave if you'd like.
No, I want to have a town hall meeting.
Well, that's good. You can hold it right after we're done here.
Stuff that you choose, sir. This is
so,
nonsense. This is just more nonsense.
Well, and you're welcome to leave. We would welcome that, actually.
Answer my question. Where's the union representative? How come he's not over there? Or she's not over there? Okay? How come these 53 departments that are in the city are not over there? You just get fire and police. You want to scare us into submission.
Do you want to leave or do you want to be quiet?
No, I want you to let people ask questions.
Wait a minute. I agree with something he's saying. You're addressing the fine service of these fine departments, and we all agree with that. None of us want to lose these services. Can you address, if you would, how we can cut expenses? We particularly want to hear you talk about the pension.
I just talked about it. Okay, let me answer the pension question. A lot of you have been fed a phony idea on how you address that. There is no city in the United States, it's not constitutional by state constitutional law, to take a pension back from an employee once they vest in it. They vest the day that they start. They vest the day that they start. So you can't do that. What we did was we started a new pension system for new employees. New pension system started July 2009, the first one in the state of California. It costs 50% as much. So we've addressed that to the best of our ability. You can't go bankrupt and affect the pension system. The city of Vallejo went into bankruptcy. It does not affect the pension. They've been told it can't affect the pension. It affects the memorandums of understanding because they had been given raises over a long period of time and they had that going out. We took a 6% reduction from all of our employees. So we don't want to avoid that labor contract. Also, going into bankruptcy costs hundreds of millions of dollars for attorney's fees. We're not going to pay $100 million for attorney's fees to go into bankruptcy.
You want to spend $1.8 billion in pension instead?
You know, that is an obligation that has built up over the past 30 years.
A bad one.
Yes.
I am just as angry about it as you are.
I don't think you are.
Well, I think I am. And you don't know what I'm angry about.
The last 4 or 5 years, instead of just dragging it on and on and on, and then attaching it to this bogus bill. Why didn't you do it years ago?
That's okay.
Okay?
Well, I think I make a fool out of himself.
Let
me move to the next one.
Let me
move to the next one. Why have libraries been considered expendable when they're a core city service necessary to support schools and the community? I'm only reading what the crowd gave me.
Why don't you let people raise their hands?
They're the ones who are asking these questions.
Let people raise their hands and ask the questions.
We're cutting all the way through, and it's just something that we're prioritizing. Public safety is obviously first in our mind as we move forward. In a time where we're cutting police, fire, park, and libraries, why are we building a library that's presently short $30 million to build and will cost $3 million to run annually? That's $2 million more than the present library. Why don't we divert that to the branch libraries? That money is not coming out of the general fund. It does not come out of any of the money we're talking about right now. $80 million comes from redevelopment that can only be spent downtown. $20 million came from a state library grant that can only be spent on a downtown library. Otherwise, we have to give it back to the state to give to another city. $20 million came from the Unified School District to put a high school in on 2 floors of that. $32 million has come from donors who said it is only for a downtown library, and the rest will come from that. We also have an endowment of $15 million built into that to cover the increased operating costs. So that's what that's how that library is being done.
On an agent because 95% of their calls are medical aids instead of stacking with 4 guys. Two of them don't do anything, like the engineer and the captain. Why don't you put 3 on an agent, and that way you don't have to have the brownouts, especially when that percentage of medical aids.
Libraries, park and rec, can facilities stay open and yet reduce staff to skeleton levels? What we'll be doing is we'll be, as the library and park director said, we'll be splitting those. So they'll all stay open except a few. However, they'll be reduced in the hours that they're actually open. If libraries are closed or leave their hours or reduced, when is it anticipated to be back to normal? I just don't know that. As the revenues return, then the public spending on those will go back up. Why wasn't the opposition viewpoint presented? This is a budget. This is the budget I'll be putting forward. Opposition comes when the council makes their decisions on that. That'll come after we present it to council, so there's not an opposition viewpoint on this issue tonight.
Oh, yeah?
Well, we do know you're opposed to it. Okay, and I've got this is from the gentleman in the back. I already answered that, Mr. Mayor. I don't believe anyone in this room doubts the great services of our protection and first responders. Rather, I'm here to hear from you about the $1.8 billion. And as I said, we have pension obligations that are necessary by law. Why is trash pickup free? Many cities charge a nominal or minimal amount. Wouldn't a minimal charge for trash help with the budget deficit? Yes. However, it has to go to a vote of the public. The vote has shown no willingness to pay for that in the past.
Did you write that question down?
No, I didn't. It's not even my handwriting, but thank you. Was it legal for you to retroactively collect business taxes, even of business owners who did not work under their license but under another business? I don't know the answer to that. I think that's a city attorney answer, to be honest. And then the last one I have is on the CCDC cap. How can you justify lifting the cap on funds being diverted from the general fund to CCDC when the services you're cutting depend on the general fund? The CCDC cap, first of all CCDC revenue will be staying in CCDC till 2023. That's when that currently ends. So that's not going to help us in this. We have asked CCDC to pick up several of the costs that we were paying before. They pick up on all the bonds for Petco. They have also picked up other things, but the downtown area also produces about $30 million a year, which goes out into the rest of the city for that sales tax for police and fire. Transit occupancy tax in the CCDC area, because it's been so successful, also comes out, and it is going out into the general fund also. So the CCDC cap has nothing to do with this discussion right here on the general fund budget. We'll be looking to see if there are additional things that the general fund can pick up from CCDC and some of those services that are done. And I believe that was the last question I had. So I appreciate all of you being here. Tonight was simply to inform the decisions we have ahead of us over the next few months, and we'll be moving forward with that. So thank you.